All right. Oh, shoot. Who's here? Anybody here? Oh, my mic's not in. I'm out of it today. All right. How's everybody doing? Big Fever win last night. Got the Mystics on Thursday. And playoffs are coming pretty soon. I don't have a lot of confidence they'll win in the playoffs, given coach side's lack of depth, the refs, and their defense. Let me know who's out there. Got a poll started. How about if I do a question? I got a bad turnout today. All right. Anybody out there? Oh, all right. Anybody out there? Yeah, no comments. Oh, this is gonna be a bad live show. It's good. I got a sore throat. Oh, I didn't think anybody was there. It says there's 6 people and no one's making any comments. All right. I'm struggling with a sore throat. It's turning into a cold. I don't usually get colds until October. Usually get a cold in October, fall October. Then I get one in the winter or maybe 2, and then that's it. But I feel like I got one. I'm fighting it. And my birthday's in 2 days. There's only 2 shopping days left to my birthday. It's for Wednesday. So, Caitlin Clark effect. Rob said he had a sore throat too when he was fighting a cold. So, I don't know why it's coming so early. I didn't even get a chance to get a flu shot yet. Usually my brother said the best time back October 1st, get a flu shot. So I'll get a flu shot. But what's to talk about? I'm open. I respond to your guys' comments. I already made a whole video of the game last night. I think I'm going to do a video called "Will the refs give the Fever a fair shake in the playoffs?" After watching those 2 Aces games, I don't have a lot of confidence. They do not want Caitlin Clark to be successful in the playoffs. Because then the fans will go crazy. Yeah, no, flu shots are good. I don't know who's telling you that. My brother's a biochemist. I trust him. So anyway, I don't understand. I'm very disappointed in this league. But this league does not like Caitlin Clark. I'm flabbergasted. I'm in total shock since the first game. It's like I feel like I'm in some kind of nightmare that Caitlin Clark's nightmare is twice as maybe 10 times worse than ours. You think so, Nikki? What makes you think it's going to be fair in the playoffs? They want her to succeed even less in the playoffs than they do in the regular season. I don't know. I don't have a lot of confidence. Coach Sides is a terrible coach. She'll get out coached, and all the coaches that they're going to play against are going to be the top four teams, and they all have the best coaches. So she'll get out coached. They don't have the depth. Samuelson seems to be lost for the year. Smith's playing worse. The only thing they have going for them is they don't have any real away games because Caitlin Clark fans go to watch her play, and they only got to win 2 out of 3 instead of 3 out of 5 or 4 out of 7. So the better team doesn't necessarily win. Yeah, why don't they get some refs from the NBA? Ones that who aren't biased and who can understand. Look at the two calls that were challenged, that were obviously the right challenges, and neither one of them were overturned. They can't even get calls right when they have slow motion and instant and replay and review. And who's ever in the command center, well, they're better than the ones here. Anyone's better than the refs here. That's my opinion. NBA refs, I mean, they're as good as you're going to get. The refs being a ref's hard. And I saw the hit. I don't think it was intentional, but she was enough. She just like a whacked at the ball. That's, you got to be under control when you go for a block. The commissioners doesn't do anything. The only thing she's done so far is upgrade something that was called an off the ball foul, or Clark got assaulted, to a flagrant 1 when it should have been a flagrant 2. That's all she's ever done. She hasn't done anything. Have she taken any discipline against the refs that you know of? Has she said anything about the officiating? Yeah, I agree that the refs make less money. I said this, I think, in a video already. If they make less money, aren't they more likely to be bought out? Yeah, Caitlin Clark, her whole life, idolized the WNBA and its players, and she had no idea how bad they were in terms of their attitude. She's just a kid growing up. She's in college. She's not paying that close attention to how terrible they are. She's just, saying, hey, there's some players in the NBA. I want to play against them. I mean, WNBA. I don't know. You really think the Euro refs are better than the NBA refs? I find that hard to believe. Refs are refs. It's just the NBA refs are the ones that get paid the most because they get scrutinized and they get promoted. They must be the best basketball refs in the country, at least. So there was and Ken Swift, I guess his name, or whatever, that guy he has a big following on Twitter. He showed that what's her name, Donna Taurasi, drove through the basket. I think she got a foul call. Maybe she didn't, but she just slapped the stanchion. And one of the same refs was right there, and they didn't call it technical. Donna Taurasi can hit a stanchion, but Caitlin Clark does it. Even looks at a stanchion, and it's a technical. A black and white sports thing too had the whole thing on it. That's what I said, Nikki. I said the NCAA refs are off right now, and they have a shorter season than the NBA refs. So take the refs, the best ones from the NCAA men's tournament, and hire them and see if some of them want to work besides the 30, 35 games they do a year. And they want to work in the off season because they're not doing 82 games like the NBA. Why can't we get the best refs from the NCAA tournament? Even the best women that did the women refs. But I think the men's ones get paid more, so they're probably the better refs and more experienced refs. And they won't have an agenda. These refs just feel some kind of obligation to the women in the league. I'm flabbergasted. I do not feel it's fair. I'm not a conspiracy person. If you listen to my broadcast, I'm into honesty, objective. I don't like conspiracies, but nothing convinced me that these refs are giving Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever a fair shake. 3/4 of the time, they're on the short end of the stick in the calls. Maybe 1/4 of the time it's fair. None of the times have I ever felt the calls went the Fever favor. That's me. You can tell me if I'm wrong, but I don't know. I've seen replays that suggests that I'm correct on this. Someone said they counted Asia Wilson had 16 fouls and none of them were called. And this retired coach, I didn't see that. I just know she didn't get 0 fouls against Boston, and Boston got 6 against her. That's all I'm saying. Some of the women in the league are unlikable. Most of the women are unlikable. I know. The league was not ready for prime time, as people are saying, which I agree with completely. No one realized how bad it was because nobody was paying attention, except for like people that were watching for a long time, and they just were used to it. Yeah, the Fevers would have won some close games if you gave them fair refs and a real coach. Every close game they won, they could have won. And what did I think they won? They lost 6 or 7 close games. They could have won every one of those games. Yeah, they looked right at it. In fact, the player on the other team was it this guy pointed to the stanchion and said, "Hey, that's supposed to be a technical." Nope, just walked right away. I saw the videos. The Sky knew that was supposed to be a technical because they saw Caitlin Clark get 2 of them. So please tell me again why they're now shouldn't they put a technical against her now? Now that they've seen it, shouldn't the league actually give her a technical? Because it's supposed to be automatic. It's in the rules. Well, Diana Taurasi, no, they're not going to do that to her. This league is a piece of crap. Good. The good news is, Ross, Rob's Browns won yesterday. My Green Bay Packers won without their starting quarterback against a team that was 9-8 last year, Indianapolis, and the Bills won on Thursday night, and the Eagles played tonight. I live in Philadelphia, but the Packers are my favorite teams. I didn't grow up in Philadelphia, so that's the good news in football. I only cover football and basketball. At least Clark is making bank. Yeah. Chiefs won. Yeah, that was a penalty. That was pass interference. The guy was there way early. Way early. That was just a stupid defensive play. I have no problem with the pass interference call. In fact, it would have been bad to not call it. Anyone that's complaining about that call is ridiculous. I was watching the game live. The interception by the Cincinnati player was unbelievable. One-handed grab. It looked like a Odell Beckham grab. Unbelievable interception. One of the best interceptions you'll ever see in your entire life. How the hell did Green Bay only score 16? They had their backup quarterback. They played it conservative. Yeah. That was a good game, but you've got to call that. I mean, he hit him from the back. It was a catchable ball. It wasn't over his head. And he was way early, too. Like, what are you thinking? If you're going to try to time that, at least time it so you're only there like a split second too early so they can't tell. So, anyway. Yeah. Minnesota's 2-0. That surprised people. Houston's 2-0. Let's see who else was 2-0. I looked at the let's see standings. Buffalo's 2-0. Pittsburgh's 2-0. Surprisingly, their quarterback hasn't even played that well. There's 2-0. Chargers are 2-0. Their new coach. Kansas City's 2-0. The Eagles are 1-0. They play tonight. New Orleans 2-0. Tampa Bay's 2-0. Look at Seattle's 2-0. A lot of 2-0 teams. We'll see. You really can't tell how good the teams are until they play like a half a dozen games. So, all right. So we'll see. Eagles tonight. I would do that live, except I don't have a voice, so I won't do it live. I'm gonna be watching it though. I don't know if I'll be able to stay awake. Buckner is the best kicker in the league? Yeah, I don't know. I bet you Mick will make up things, and he'll put out another 10 videos a day, even though there's no news. You mark me down on that one. Eagles are favored by 5.5. Well, they're at home. So yeah, 5.5 against Atlanta. It would be interesting if, I don't know what the best league in Europe is. I don't know if it's a French league or not. Caitlin Clark gets seriously injured. She gets really pissed off because they didn't protect her all year from the refs, and she says, "F this league. I'm going over to Europe plate. I already proved I could play in this league. I mean, rookie. She's a rookie, and she's like one of the top 4 players in the league. It's not like she's leaving because she couldn't compete. And some network picks up all the games over in Europe, and we can watch her every week on TV with fair refs, a better coach. I don't care if she plays the WNBA players don't excite me. I don't care who she plays against. How many of the WNBA players are exciting players? Go ahead, I'll wait. Arike is an exciting player. Okay. Go ahead. Well, who else is exciting? Sabrina, when she gets hot, she's a 3-point shooter. Okay. I think Copper and Kennedy Carter are a little fun to watch because they can really create their own shots. And that's it. Tell me how many other players are exciting in that league? I don't think Brianna Stewart or Asia Wilson are exciting players. Yeah, Arike is when she gets hot, but she has to get hot to be. Yeah, but that's it. She's a fun player. She seems like a good person too. But I don't think it's ever going to happen. Caitlin Clark's got all those sponsors and stuff like that. They're U.S. based. You got family and boyfriend, So I don't see that happening. But it would be cool, like if she went there. They still have the TV contract though, so they get the money that she generated, or at least potentially generated, to give them the deal for what, 220 million instead of 60 million. So they'd still get that money, but the networks that paid for it would be, oh my god, my ratings are going to be 1/3 or 1/4 what they were before. You like good ball? I don't need flashy. I don't know if Clark's flashy. Is that flashy? There's just something about her game. You have to make up for the fact that they're not airborne. So that's my opinion. So it needs a little flash is good. In Indianapolis, her boyfriend's going to Butler as an assistant coach. Really? Indianapolis? Yeah, what was the game's ratings? They didn't give the ratings yet for what was Friday night? They don't have the ratings. Didn't come out for Friday night yet. They should come out today. Did they come out today? Because I have a feeling that could have set a record for Ion on Friday night. Yeah, Dennis, nobody can make a layup. I think that hurts the league more than anything else. I mean, play-wise. They can't make a layup. And it's just not going to happen. It looks like they just not. I don't know what it's from. I swear, when I watch Division I women's basketball, they make the same percentage of layups as the WNBA. Now I know the defense isn't quite as good, and they're not as tall, but still, you're one of 144 players in the world that made that league, and you can't make a layup. Something's wrong. Yeah, yeah. I think someone said he would give him $1 million to play a boys basketball team um, if they could beat them, and they didn't take him up on the offer. I mean, you saw what happened when the women's soccer team played it was an under 15 boys team and lost 5-2 in Dallas. So, they don't have the jumping ability. They would get beat. I mean, you can go so young, and then at some point they'll beat the boys. But I don't know. It's that tells me shows me a lack of dedication too. If you're having trouble making layups, then you need to be practicing them more. I think men play more basketball than women. So, like, I've never seen 5-on-5 women in a park, for instance. So maybe the WNBA players aren't as dedicated as they should be. And they don't all practice like Caitlin Clark does. Why would anyone be excited to watch someone else's relationship? Don't get it. I don't understand. What does that have to do with anything? The airballs? Yeah, you know what? They're not bad at shooting 3-point shots. I have a feeling they practice 3-point shots way more than they practice layups. Maybe that's part of the problem. There is airballs, though. But, I mean, even division women's NCAA players can hit the 3-point shot at a decent level. I mean, it's something you can practice over and over and over and over again and get it down, even if they don't have the strength. It's entertainment, right? And the entertainment would be better if they could make layups, Bobby. I do think they can beat the Sun in one of the two games. I don't have a lot of confidence they'll beat them 2 out of 3, but I don't consider that stealing. I talked about that in my podcast today. I don't think that's stealing a game just because it's an away game. I don't know why that term is used. The home team isn't entitled to a victory. So they only win, even in the playoffs in the WNBA, they only win around 59% of the time, I think. It's the highest of any league in the playoffs. Maybe it's 60, but 59 or 60. Am I entertained? I'm entertained by Caitlin Clark. I'm not entertained by WNBA basketball. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, you know what? She's not a perfect person. She's 22 years old. I think she's tough mentally, but she's not perfectly tough mentally. 5 years from now, I don't think or even maybe 2 years from now, maybe even next year, she won't have these lapses. She's dealing with a lot of pressure. She's dealing with a lousy coach. No depth in her team. Teammates missing layups. It's hard not to get frustrated. She's dealing with the refs that won't give her a break. Yeah, DeJounte Carrington is a good defender, and that's a problem. But I'd rather play the Sun than the Lynx if I was the Fever. The Lynx look as good as anyone in the league right now. I think it's gonna come down to the Lynx and the Liberty. I don't think Aces are going to defend their championship this year. If they didn't get all the calls from the refs, I don't think they would have beaten the Fever that last game. And I don't think they look good enough to me. Yeah, Lynx or Liberty, I don't have a strong feeling one way or another in those two teams, but it's going to be one of those two teams I think are going to win the championship. So we'll see what happens. But that seems to be what's going to happen. And that's not just because they have the two best records. I just think they look like the best teams too. And the Lynx are closing out the season well. They got a star player. They got a great coach, even though she's a jerk. And they look good on offense and on defense. You can tell they're well coached. If she had a personality, I'd say, gosh, imagine Caitlin Clark playing on her team. So it will be interesting to see the first time that Caitlin Clark is a free agent. What's going to happen? That would be like, remember LeBron? He had, the decision, and he had a whole show about it because he's an egomaniac. Imagine Caitlin Clark. Now she wouldn't do that, but imagine what happens. All the speculation about her when she's a free agent for the first time. Collier will be MVP of the champion. That Mark, that's definitely a possibility. If they win, that's the most likely scenario. If the Liberty win, of course, it could be either Sabrina or Brianna Stewart. Seattle beat Las Vegas. It could happen. I don't think Las Vegas is that good, but Seattle's got, they have a balanced team, but they're not finishing the season that strong. So we'll see. But they're a good team. They have a good coach. All right, so we'll see. If the Fever had a better coach and the refs weren't against him, I'd predict an upset. But I'm not going to. You think Nafisa Collier has a better? You talking about she, meaning Nafisa Collier, has a better all-around game than Wilson, or Jacquel Jones? Are you talking about? Or Jones? Who are you talking about? Nafisa Collier? Yeah, I mean, I said that. I think I would vote her second in the MVP. I still think you got to get the MVP to Asia Wilson, but I don't really like her. And I'm trying to be objective about it because I don't like her. But I would put Clark third. I've said that in several videos now. And I think Clark and Brianna Stewart is in there, like one of the top 4 players, along with Clark. I think those are the top 4 players in the league right now. I think Clark is the best guard in the league. And MVP, if you don't put her second through 4th, you're wrong. And if you don't make her first team All-Pro, you're wrong. And this year, I will give Asia Wilson best player and the MVP award. But I don't think that's going to happen next year. I think Caitlin Clark will be the best player in the league next year. Especially if they get a new coach, which I don't think it's going to happen unless Dunn retires and the new general manager realizes they need a new coach. Clark is 6 in the rating. Yeah, whatever ESPN says is wrong. They did have a nice article, though, about the greatest NBA rookie season of all time, and they put her third, and I thought that was pretty spot on. That was pretty spot on. So I had no problem with that, putting her third. Third out of 28, I guess it would be. I don't know why Dunn likes sides so much. I don't either. It's because they have the same theory on basketball, which is put it in the post 50 times, even though they have players that don't have any post moves. Look, Smith has no post move. She drives to the basket. She does a nice spin thing. That's about it. Dantas has a post move in their turn. She has a nice little turnaround post move, but not really. That's about it. And Boston has one move which kind of backs up and does it like an over and under move to the other side. That's it. That's her only post move. So why are we doing so many post moves? We might go to the basket. And Temmie's not an offensive player like that. She doesn't have post moves either. Samuelson, she hasn't shown any post moves. So why we don't have players? The Fever doesn't have players that have post moves. So why we pound in and downside inside? They're much better off like bring them across the court and then just get the ball moving right away. They're much better at that. And get the ball back to Clark if it doesn't work out right away. She'll have to break her own records next year. Well, she's not going to have the scoring record because she's not going to outscore Asia Wilson this year. Imagine, Mark, the Fevers win in the WNBA and CC retires forever. I think she wants a long career. Even if she wants to have a kid or whatever, I think she wants a long career. It's too bad women have to deal with that. If having to have kids and getting pregnant and missing a season here or there. But yeah, she's holding it too long to get slapped out. All these women, I wrestled and we had wrist grips. I used to sit in front of the TV and just squeeze the wrist grips to make my hands and wrists stronger. And all those women should do that because, especially in the Fever, because the ball's getting knocked out of their hands. It even happens to Hall. And, it gets knocked out of their hands too easily. Smith, Boston, happens all the time to them. They got to strengthen their hands. I agree, Bobby. And she will go down as the best ever if she doesn't get too many serious injuries. And if she improves her defense and cuts down on her turnovers, which I think she will. And I think as she has, better coach, better team, all that happen. I went over this video today. Her stance is back to what it was in the beginning of the year with that dumb, slanted back and her knees aren't bent. She's got to stop doing that. You can't slide and you can't move and prevent the person from getting past you. You can't move. You can't move properly that way. I know in wrestling, there's a squat going down in wrestling. It takes more energy that way. But guess what? That's how you have to play on-ball defense. Her upper body strength is good for a woman. Imagine if she has Plum's physique to go along with her skills. Her physique in what way? Like a good physique? Like an attractive physique? Or what do you mean by that? Or just do not box out and fight for rebounds. It's ridiculous. It's true. And that's why they got to work out with weights and get positioned properly. I don't think they have a coach that can teach them boxing out properly, because I don't think Coach Sides knows very much about basketball, and I don't think she's very smart. I don't think she has good judgment. I think she sucks. Yep, she's not a defensive coach. I don't know how that got started and that rumor. Yeah, I think Caitlin Clark. Yeah, I agree, Nikki. She is attractive. Plum is easily one of the most attractive women in the league, which isn't saying much. I usually don't comment on their looks, so. You mean Rob Plankett? Are you saying Bob? You mean Rob? His name's Rob. He doesn't go by Bob, just so you know. He doesn't even like being called Bob. You're talking about Rob? Even if he was just hired as an assistant coach to help with the defense, because that was his specialty and that's what he likes, That's okay. You can, don't. He's not here. He doesn't know. You just may screw up. Yeah, I mean, if I don't think obviously none of their assistants are any good at defensive coaching either. Otherwise, they'd have it down by now. So to make up for her, or she doesn't listen to her assistants, maybe because they're second last in the league in defense, and I think they're third in scoring, and they're only third in scoring because they have talent. That's the only reason they're third in scoring. They have Boston, and they have Mitchell and Clark to make sure they can score some points. Do I think the Dallas coach will get fired, Mark? I don't know. I didn't put any thought into it. What? I mean, I don't know how good these coaches are because I'm not sure I know exactly how much talent each coach is dealing with. Since I only watch these teams play when they play Indiana Fever, I refuse to watch the league because first of all, the basketball is boring if it's not Caden Clark, and second of all, they really turn me off. I don't want to support him in that way. Mick thinks she's history. Well, Mick has so many opinions though, and he doesn't even have a basis for his opinion sometimes. Can be honest, and then he'll change his opinion the next day. I mean, someone gets fired every year. I mean, let's see. You said the Dallas coach. Let's see. Somebody look at the standings again. Sometimes some of these teams don't have a lot of talent. Let me look at. Dallas, 9-30. Los Angeles Sparks 7-31. Let me just see who the Dallas have on their team again. Just the players, the top players. Oh, yeah. They have some talent, but they didn't have, I don't know how you pronounce her name, Satal Sabalia. They didn't have her for most of the season. She was playing for Germany. But they should have better defense than they do. And I don't think the coaches, so we'll see. She was there last year. What was their record last year? Let me just see. They said I think this is the coach's second year in the league. That's what I heard the announcer say. So last year, Dallas was 22-18. So they dropped a lot, but they didn't have a first team All Pro player most of the season. So how do you judge that? But their defense is last in the league, right? So maybe she's toast. Who knows? Sky coach needs to go. Oh, definitely. Teresa Witherspoon should not be in the league, period. We've already covered that in videos. I think it's her second year, Bales. I think they said this was their second year with Dallas, and they were 22-18 last year. So, but you'd have to look it up for me. What's your name? Bess. If I can't pronounce your name, but you know I'm talking to you. Bess of Witty 241. I thought the announcer said that was their second year with the team, and I just looked up the record. They were 22-18. Yeah, it's tough starting out playing most of your season without your best player, though. But they don't play defense, so I can see the problem. So I have no idea how good a coach she is. All I know is you're right; they're not winning. What about the Los Angeles Sparks coach? I mean, they only have 7 wins, so she's probably toast. We'll see. I mean, they don't have a lot of talent, but still. Let's see the Sparks. Let's see last year the Sparks were 17-23, ahead of the Fever. They were in 9th place. So, this year they only have 7. I got Hamby, Rakia Jackson. They had Adia Sims, but Lexi Brown is a decent player, even though she's kind of a jerk. And she was out for the year because of some kind of injury. Or yeah, they don't have a lot of talent, but so we'll see. I don't really care what coaches get fired and hired, except for Teresa Witherspoon should be fired, and so should Sides. Everybody else, I don't really care. Yeah, you call him the psycho Irishman. He claims he watches a lot of women's basketball. I don't know how he has time. One day he made 21 videos, and he puts out like a dozen a day. It's like how does he have time to watch it? He makes videos from his car. It's in the back seat. That's unbelievable. Uh, uh, but he's very successful. He's got his when we first started, he's been doing it since last year. But I think he had like 6,000 subscribers. And now he's up to like, I don't know, 30 or 35,000. So people like him. We had 0 when he had 6,000. And now we have 5,000. Almost 5,000. We got 4,600 almost. So we'll see. We're going to start doing more football videos because Caitlin Clark's going to be winding down. But when we did the football videos, we didn't get any views. So we haven't established a football credibility yet, even though it's my favorite sport. Teresa Witherspoon is not a good person. I 100% agree with that, maybe 200% if that's possible. Yeah, you know what's weird is Wallace and Hall were on the team last year. So it's not like she didn't see him play last year and couldn't figure out who was the better player. How could you watch them play and not know who was the better player? I'm flabbergasted by that. Rob says that's my favorite word lately. Because Hall is clearly a better player than Wallace. Wallace, there's really nothing to her game that's exceptional. She's an okay defender, and she stays out of the way of the starting lineup when she started, and that was about it. I don't understand why she was starting. I can't understand that. And I don't know. Right now, Samuelson looks lost. I don't know what happened. She looks like she lost 15 pounds at least. She can't hit a shot anymore. She seems to have lost her confidence. Smith, she's a head case. She wants to leave. She's not a free agent, right? Anyone know what Smith's contract situation is? They should trade her. She wants to go be with her girlfriend, DJ Carrington. Go trade her there. See if you can get something out of her. Because I'm tired of her defense and her inconsistency. It's too bad she has talent. She has talent, but she's a head case. I want people that are mentally tough. So, was Katie Lou ever good? I don't know. She played okay early in the year. He doesn't know where Iowa is. It's in the United States somewhere, right? The team name was Public Vote. What team name? I don't understand that comment. Sorry. Grace Berger. Yeah, Grace Berger was on the team last year. I haven't seen her play this year. I don't know how good she is. She was good in college. But I think Caitlin Clark's passing is a combination of Steve Nash and Magic Johnson, because Magic Johnson had good length of the court passes. Steve Nash was more, run fast and then kind of like boom inside post. So I think she has that. And yeah, Jason Kidd was a great passer too. But I think she reminds me of a lot. Yeah, Larry Bird's passing wasn't like Caitlin Clark's, but his IQ, he had high IQ as a player. But Magic Johnson and Michael Jordan were both high IQ players too at the same era. Yeah, I can't imagine that Berger would hurt the team if they had developed her and played her some meaningful minutes this year. That they would hurt the team if she played 6 minutes a game as a backup point guard or backup shooting guard or something or rotation. I think that I think they're going to let Wheeler go, and I don't think Wheeler and Smith are going to be there next year. I don't think Wallace will be there next year. Well, they're going to lose someone too, right? They can only save 6 players because of the expansion draft. So we'll see who they save. They're going to save. I would save Temmie, and obviously you're going to save Boston, Hall, Clark, Mitchell. You're going to save those. That's 4. Temmie, 5. Now, do you save Smith? I don't know. Of course, I would save Mitchell. Yeah, she's still not passing much, but I don't know. She can bail you out when your offense is struggling, and I think Clark makes her a better player. So it's a good combo. Yes, Temmie should be starting over Smith. She should have started over Smith. I think right after she had that really good game, and it was like 3 or 4 games ago. She should have been starting since that. She wasn't all the way back from her injury before. Yep, Mitchell is one of the top players in the league right now. I don't know if she's top 10, but she's up there. Of course, the Clark haters I'll say that Mitchell's the best player on the team, not Caitlin Clark. So save Dantas and let Smith go just for nothing, for free. Well, maybe you can trade Smith first and then save Dantas. So yeah, I wouldn't I'd save Temmie. They don't have enough defense. They can't afford to leave Tull and Temmie to go. So yeah, I would trade Smith as soon as the season ended. and then I don't have to worry about using that one of the spots to save her. I'd trade her right now. Like yeah, well, that's true. I mean, we'll see what happens. Splash Sisters. It's good. It's a good duo. Need more height. Boston 6'5". That's a decent height for a WNBA center. I don't know. I'd have to go figure out what the average height is for center, but yeah, and they're not going to save Katie Lou. She's not going to be one of the 6 they save. But who knows? Whatever they do is not going to be the right thing. So McCowan is huge and mean. Yeah. Yeah, I wonder how much Nike and Gatorade and Wilson have, how much sway they have with the league. Well, that's Dunn. Dunn gave her that deal, obviously, so she should be fired. Everybody thinks Dunn should be fired. I mean, the fact that Saxon's still on the phone and still on the team instead of Celeste Taylor is reason enough right there to fire her. That move was the most brain dead move I've ever seen in my life. How many times have you seen a guard have their best game of the year against the Fever because they didn't have a defensive stopper? They could have taken her off the bench, give her some playing time, and cool down the player. Yeah, I don't know how great a defender she is, but I certainly would have given her a chance. I don't. I didn't see Samuelson play before this year. I don't even remember seeing her at UConn that much. So I don't know, but she hasn't impressed me as a player. That's at the WNBA level. That's all I can say. I know she had a kid last year, but still, she had all season to get into round into basketball shape. I'm told that Herb Simon's eldest son runs the team and is involved in decision making. I don't know. She was all defensive player of the year. Who are you talking about? Celeste Taylor? I know that, but I'm just saying how great a defender she is at the WNBA level. I don't know because they never gave her a chance. Phoenix did. I think she's with Phoenix right now. She had a 7-day contract with them, 7-day contract with the Sun, and then went back to Phoenix. She lost. She can't get your swing back. Yeah, Gustafson's not getting much playing time. It's very weird. She was player of the year, and she didn't even make it in the WNBA when she got cut. She was like the number one pick in the draft and got cut. Player of the year. That was weird. Her defense was that bad. Her defense was a problem. But you don't give a player a chance to develop. Wow. Player of the year. That's weird. I mean, she's still not starting in the league, but at least she's on a team. Martin. Who's Martin? Uh, Blanket. You taking off? Blanket. Planet. All right. Take off. Take care. Go have your dinner or whatever. Oh, Kate Martin. Oh, I don't know if she's good enough to start in the WNBA. I wish they had drafted her and make Caitlin Clark feel at home and have someone that she could mesh with it. For the minutes that she plays with, she could have turned into an excellent player. She's mentally tough, and she has a nice all around game. She plays defense. She's not a great defender, but she's a pretty good defender, and she's got a nice all around game. Gabby. Play Samuelson with Gabby. All right. You want to get the whole Iowa team back. I don't know if Gabby. I think she's got a cancer thing going on too, right? What they want to do is get Hannah Stokey when she comes out. I would get Hannah Stokey. I would do whatever I can to get Hannah Stokey to play with Clark. Those two had a nice connection in Iowa. Yeah, Kate Martin, get some playing time. But Hannah Stokey doesn't graduate for another, not till next. She's a junior this year, so you won't see her till next year. She's an athlete too. And she's not a great defender yet, but her defense got better as the season went along. And she's I think she played volleyball and track in high school. You think Hammond won't let her go? I think they drafted her so the Fever couldn't draft her. Yeah, Stokey's only 6'2", so she's I guess she could play a forward, but she obviously can't play center. At 6'2", that's not going to be tall enough in the WNBA. I don't think so. But she could play either forward position. She doesn't really have a jump shot yet, but she can make layups. She was pretty good at making layups, from what I saw. And I watched a lot of games last year. That was her first year starting. Excuse me. Gabby's studying to be an occupational therapist. I'm not sure she was good enough, to make in the WNBA. Anyways, she was good. She was a good defender, though. She was pesky. I liked her defense, and she could hit a 3-point shot. But she can't create her own shot at all. She's not a dribbler. You're going to watch Iowa basketball? So they got a new player coming in, Olsen, I guess, in Iowa. She's transferring there from Villanova, right? Am I not mistaken? Good player. Jerry Jones are getting the big contract you get Prescott. He's giving him 2 big contracts, right? I think Stokey will make the WNBA. She's just going to have to learn to play as a forward. I think she's only 6'2". Which is tall enough for a forward. Gabby Marshall's too cute for the WNBA. Yeah, Gabby Marshall's got nice eyes. She's cute. Top Gun is here. What's up, Top Gun? Where have you been lately? Yeah, but 6'2" is tall enough to be a forward, WNBA. But I think she can make it in the WNBA. I know that Clark probably made her look better than she actually was last year because of her great passing, but she's got talent. She's got athletic ability. I agree. Boston can't jump, and she's not as clumsy as Angel Reese, but she's not super coordinated either. Some of us have to work. All right, Top Gun. Yeah, Boston needs to work on her hands and her footwork too. Boston's footwork isn't that good. The whole Iowa team last year was beautiful. Really? The whole team? Wow. I don't know about that. Oh, sorry, Nikki. I won't mention Angel Reese anymore. But all I did is say she's not very coordinated. That's all I said. I said something bad about her. Yeah, her footwork is not good enough. Hire someone like Kevin McHale or Olajuwon to teach her some post moves because she really doesn't have any. Like I said, she's got like a ducking under, back to the basket thing. Yeah, Boston can't really jump, can she? I think that's one of the reasons she gets as many foul calls as she does, because she doesn't have good jumping ability. She's not in the running for the rookie of the year. The only people that think that are delusional. She's in the running to come in second place. That's it. So stop it. Get rid of Smith. Yes. Is Smith, Wallace, and Wheeler? I do not think they'll be there next year. I don't. They don't need Wheeler because they already have a backup point guard as it is. They just don't play her. Berger. So you don't need Wheeler. You're only going to give Berger like 6 minutes anyways. Kia Jackson is second best rookie. It will be interesting to see what the voting is, because when you vote for rookie of the year, this is my understanding, you vote for 3 players, 3, 2, 1. I think you get 5, 3, 1 points. I'm not sure. So it will be interesting to see how people vote in the rookie of the year, because there's going to be some voters, most of them black females with the tribalism, who's going to leave Caitlin Clark off the ballot completely to try to get Angel Reese to win. But Angel Reese will never win, so it won't happen. And I don't think I would leave Angel Reese off the ballot either. I don't think she's the 4th best rookie. But yeah, Rukia Jackson is playing pretty well, but she's inconsistent too. Yeah, Reese will be in second, and Jackson will come in third. I agree with you. I think that Camila Cardoza may end up the best player other than Clark in this rookie class. But she just re-injured her shoulder. I don't know if it's the same shoulder. She went out, only played 9 minutes the other day. She's got great size. She just needs to improve on her skills also. But she scores a lot at a much higher percentage than Reese does. Imagine the chaos if Clark wasn't rookie of the year. I think the sports world would explode. At least anyone connected to Caitlin Clark. It's not going to happen. Unless they gave the voting to, I think there's like 60 people voting in both the rookie of the year and the MVP. They'd have to give the voting ballots to 50 black women for that to happen, for Caitlin Clark not to win. And I don't think they did. So, right. Well, she's injured. Cameron Brink is injured. I can't even discuss her. She didn't play enough games to really establish herself. But she was second. She was drafted second. So someone voted for her for Player of the Year last year. Clark got 34 out of 35 votes, and Cameron Brink got a vote. That person should not have a vote next year. The Only Dance in Iowa. Is it a book or is it a long article, Mark? What is it? Where would Wheeler go? I don't know. Someone that needs a backup point guard, she's have to take a pay cut, I guess. It would be interesting. If Clark is in first team All Pro, I think it would be a major deal. Yeah, Wheeler makes $220,000. At least she has a good attitude. She welcomed Caitlin Clark from the beginning, even though she wasn't passing to her early in the year. I think she just didn't know how to play with her. And she said, like, "Oh, I'm gonna welcome her like my big sister." So I give her credit for that. And she's always cheering on the sideline. I give her credit for that. Yeah, she has some talent, Wheeler. She's just not a true point guard all the time. Like she's not that great a passer for a point guard. I know I'm comparing her, because you see Caitlin Clark play, and then she comes in. It's a big difference, but she doesn't seem to have a great passing sense and ability, and how to run an offense. So, but she's been playing decent. She can shoot. She hustles on defense, even though she's not a great defender. She at least hustles. Right. She has energy and she's fast. She's like, yeah, she is. Yeah, Nikki, they don't do that often though. Where Clark's standing in the corner. Clark needs to just not stand in the corner very long, and hopefully, but nobody sets her a screen or a pick. I saw that, and I saw that uh, Mick Hoops said that she got drug tested 3 times because she 3 times. I mean, why do you have to drug test her 3 times? I don't know if that's really true. No, we're not saying Wheeler should stay. I don't think the chances of her staying are crazy. Why would they spend all that money on a backup point guard? So no, I don't see Smith, Wheeler, Samuelson coming back next year. I don't see Saxon coming back next year. Um, who else? Yeah, I just don't see him. It will be the expansion draft is interesting because you don't get any players who are, even a top 6 player on a team. So you're really at a disadvantage. They get what do I think I could get for Smith? I don't know. That's a hard one because she has talent. She may excel with a different team, but and I mean, if she needs to improve on her defense and get some post moves, but she's athletic. She should be better than she is. But if you could trade her, I would get something for her and then just let her go. Yeah, Nikki, that's true. If what you need, what the Fever need is some more defense, players who like to run, and players who can hit 3-point shots. That's what they need. That's what they need to play with Clark. So you don't need plotting players. Although, Dantas, is playing decent for them and everything. I get that. But that's what you need. And you need some depth on the team so you can run, and because your team's going to get tired when you run. So they really need a better general manager that can get them some depth next year so they can play 9-10 players during the regular season at least. So you can run. That's my feeling. Play Clark 34 minutes instead of 40 minutes, and play Mitchell 34 minutes. Because it tires out the other team, but like the best teams in the league have more depth than the Fever. So the Fever get tired quicker than the other team does. So they need to get depth. They need to get 3-point shooters. They need to get people that can make playoffs. They need to get people that can run. Right. And then that's what the Warriors did. They had 3-point shooters. And that's what they got to do. Yeah, how old is someone look up? I thought I looked up her age before. What's her name? Liz Dunn? Yeah, you want to get Worthy out of retirement? Is it Lynn Dunn? Yeah, let me look up Lynn Dunn. She's 77. Lynn Dunn, 77. So, yeah. According to the internet, she's 77. Anyway, I think she's got to go. I don't think she's clueless. I don't care if I heard she was a good coach. I don't know anything about her. In fact, people said she looks 90. Yeah, she doesn't look. Yeah, she doesn't look. Yeah, she looks older than 77, doesn't she? I don't want to pick on her, but she she doesn't look young. Let's put it that way. She doesn't look young for her age. How old Sides? Like Sides is 47 or something like that. How do you coach that many years and never a head coach? That's kind of interesting to me that Christy Sides was never a head coach, even at the high school level. She's always an assistant coach. How do you never get promoted to head coach? I mean, how many years has she been coaching? Yeah. You came late. We did talk about the fact that Donna Taurasi slapped the staunch and didn't get called for a technical. And one of the same refs was right there that called it on Caitlin Clark, their second technical. So much for it's in the rules. They automatically have to give it to you. That's right, Nikki. You just summed it up perfectly. Imagine Caitlin Clark is has brilliant IQ on a basketball court. In college, she's obviously very smart too. But on the basketball court, I think she's brilliant. Not perfect, but brilliant. And can you imagine playing for a coach that you think is an airhead? Because honestly, Sides is an airhead. She can't figure out simple things. So imagine how frustrated Caitlin Clark is. In fact, you see it sometimes. Oh yeah. So how does the for that Golden State team, is that their name? Val? What do they have a certain percentage chance to get in the first pick, just like the four teams in the bottom? Is that how it works? I didn't look it up. Anyone know how that works in next year's draft? I don't know. All I know is they can't teach defense. All you got to do is go watch one video by the guy that yells a lot on awful announcing, and I don't know his background. And all you got to do is watch one video of that, and you can see how awful their defensive positioning is on the team, which tells you that they don't have a coach that knows what they're doing because she's had them all year. We aren't running the effing play. It never works. I know. Can you just imagine Caitlin Clark having to listen to this coach, knowing that she doesn't know what she's doing? I would go crazy. All right. I could not have the composure that Caitlin Clark. I give credit to Caitlin Clark for having the composure that she's had so far with Sides, knowing that she could play better if she had a better coach. That would drive me absolutely crazy. Mick was pushing back against the awful coaching guy. In what way? He the poo poo after Mark again. What does that mean? I don't understand. Rob's working. Inside said no. I mean, yeah, I mean, Clark played for a good coach in Bluters. Bluter probably had some good coaches, good plays at the end of the half. Clark had 2 game winners in college at the buzzer. Bobby, you're getting ahead of yourself. Fly J Johnson, is that her his last name? Fly J Johnson? Is that, I forget her last name. Is that right? She's going to be a good player. She's athletic and lengthy, and she's got a lot of energy. She's going to be a good player. Oh well, I would trust the guy in awful announcing more than I would Mick, because I watched his videos and it what he's saying seems to make sense to me. But I've never been a coach in basketball, so Mick's supposedly a basketball player, but I don't know. I look at his build and he had like no definition to his shoulder, his arms. He didn't look like an athlete to me. So I don't know. Seems more like a rugby player. Yeah, but even his arms, like you see his arms, there doesn't be any definite muscle definition on his arms. And he's 27, he's in his prime. He's like 27 years old. That's just, I'm not making fun of the guy. He seems like a nice guy. And a lot of his takes are good. It's not hard to be a basketball player in Ireland. That's true. Page is one. If you paid, I guess you meant Page. Page is one hard whack away from season-ending injury or something. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Sometimes people get injuries early in their career and then they don't get any more injuries again later. She had 2 injuries 2 years in a row. So we'll see what happens. She could be injury prone because she is thin. She's very thin. Or she just could have got unlucky. Injuries can sometimes just bad luck. A lot of times they are. So I don't want to jump on her case saying she's fragile yet. She'll prove whether she's fragile or not in the next 15 years. You do think Paige is going to be as great as some suggest? She's been injured twice, yeah. She won't be 25 when she enters the draft. You've been listening to Mick. Mick said that. She's not going to be 23 when she enters the draft. She's only she's only a few months, I think, younger or older than Clark. I don't know who's telling you that. Go look up her date of birth up. Mick figured out her age and said she would be 25. She would be 25 as her rookie year ends. And it wasn't even true. He was 1 year off. She's going to be 23 when her rookie year ends, and then almost 24. He doesn't know how to figure out birth dates. If Fever get to a game 3, they need to move the game to Lucas Oil Stadium, pack of 60K crazy Oilers. Yeah, I'm still waiting for a Gino for a retraction. No, I think they're less than a year apart. And go look up her I'll look up her date of birth right now because you guys are driving me crazy. She is going to be. Clark was born in January. One of them was born in October, I think. Paige Becker's date of birth. October 20th, 2001. 2001, October 20th. So right now, she hasn't had her birthday yet. So she's only 22 right now. Okay. Clark is going to be, she's a couple, I guess she's 3 months older than Clark, because Clark is going to turn 23 in right? Clark's going to turn 23 in 2002. They're almost the same age. I remember that because I've looked this up before. Yeah. Clark is born January 22nd, 2022. October, November, December. So she's 3 months. She's 3 months older than Caitlin Clark. Pages. That's it. 3 months old. They're almost just basically the same age. Yeah. So I don't know what Mick figured it out wrong when he did that video. I pointed out to him, and he doubled down, and I said, "Are you serious?" No, she will not, Bobby. Why do you keep saying that? I just told you she's only 3 months. She's 3 months older than Caitlin Clark. She will be 23 at the end of her rookie year, almost 24. That's what she'll be. You guys don't know how to add. Yeah, she had injuries both her sophomore and junior. She's only really played 2.5 years. So, yeah. I think Caitlin go down is a better player than Paige Beckers, but I think she's got a great all-around game, and I just don't think she's a generational talent like Clark. And I think Juju Watkins will be a great all-around player. She's scary because she's 6'2" and she's playing guard positioning, which is unusual. I don't know. I'm not sure why she's not a small forward, but it's awful big for a guard in college women's basketball. But I did a video on this. Juju Watkins is not as good as her fans think she is, or as perfect a player think she is, because Juju Watkins had more turnovers than assists, and her shooting percentage wasn't very good. She shot 4 shots more per game than Caitlin Clark did her rookie year. Not a rookie year, I guess her freshman year, you call it. And then she only averaged a half a point more. So Caitlin Clark was more efficient scorer, and they're both first year. But Juju Watkins is very athletic and he's a great rebounder and plays excellent defense for freshmen. So she's scary, physically talented. Yeah, I just don't think she has the same mental capacity as Clark. I don't think she's wired the same way as Clark, but she'll be a great, great player. Bobby, Bobby, it's because you listened to Mick. Mick said the same thing. He was off by a year. He doesn't know how to add. Yeah, I think we've talked about this before. Caitlin Clark went with Gino. She wouldn't be as exciting as she is right now. And you wouldn't have seen there would not this would not exist. I think if they learned to gel together, because they're both point guards. One was going to have to be a shooting guard, and they could have won several championships if Paige Beckers remained healthy. So, but I think women's college basketball will be interesting this year because UConn had like 5 injuries last year, and then they picked up 3 players in the top 20 or 30, or something like that. They recruited a bunch of new players. USC was good last year, and they got Juju Watkins, and they recruited some top players. South Carolina recruited like the number one or number two player and some other top players. So it could be very interesting on who wins the national championship there. Connecticut could make a comeback this year, whether you like them or not. They haven't done anything in years. They haven't won a championship since 2016. But I think it'll be very interesting to see who gets player of the year, Paige Beckers or Juju Watkins. I think it's a very interesting topic. We'll do a video on that right before the college season starts. I don't even have a strong opinion on it. I will say she would be a better defender right now if she went to UConn. I don't think that Lisa Bluter stressed defense enough on the team or for Caitlin Clark. LSU and Mulkey will not do good. Yeah, I saw it. ESPN had an article about who they thought was the preseason favorites, and they did it like right after the season ended. Or right after the recruits announced who they were going to. And they had Connecticut fifth. I was like, I don't think so. I could be wrong, but I think Connecticut's one of the three favorites to win the championship next year. And when I saw who they picked up and the fact that Paige is coming back and they have all these injuries, these players are coming back. So we'll see. Should be an interesting college season. And even with, it won't be as exciting, but it should be interesting. Let me know what you think. Juju Watkins or Paige, who's going to be rookie of the year or player of the year? I know that the reception by the league will be much more favorable towards Paige than it was towards Caitlin Clark. Same thing with Juju Watkins. I'll bet you $1 million on that one. $1 million that I don't have, I'll bet. Have I ordered my Mick merch? No, I have not. And you want me to should Rob and I get some merchandise now? I was waiting until we got a little bit more popular. I was gonna do like coffee mugs or something like that. Mark and Rob's Sports Showdown with coffee mugs. No, Juju has to play 3 more years unless they have a new players agreement next year and allow him to come out a little bit earlier. Juju has to play 3 more years. I don't know. Yeah, no, Juju Watkins has 3 more years to go. I think it's unfair. They allow the European players to come in when they're like 19 or something like that. I don't know why they wanted that. I don't know why they're doing that. But I will say, considering how little they pay them, it's probably a good idea to make the women get their college degrees in case they don't make it in the WNBA. So they have a career. What about getting Monica Cesano on the Fever next year? Yeah, she wouldn't start, but maybe, she could be a role player. She's got good size. Yeah, men can leave after the first year, but the players in the NBA make a lot more money. The players in the G League make as much money as the people in the WNBA. So as of right now, you have to play your senior year, or you have to be at least 21 or something like that. I don't know. You have to look up the rule. But I think next year they get a whole new bargaining agreement. No to Monica, not good enough. I don't know. I don't think she'll ever be a starter. Yeah, men came out of high school. That was their most of them didn't end up making the league. Only like 1 out of 6 would make the league. So it was really too many people were thinking they were better than they were. And that was silly. So that's why they instituted the rule. The WABA cabal could prop up anyone over King Clark to suppress their games. Oh yeah, I said that. I did a whole video on that. Um, well, some of the women make more money. The one who figured out to do the NIL name like or NLI and name, image and like yeah NIL. So if you want Iowa, Megan is the one. Whoops, what was that? LeBron. Uh, let me see. There was ESPN women's basketball favorites. Hmm. Here we go. Women's NCAA basketball way too early top 25 for 2024 2025. Okay, I found the article. Yeah, it was hurting the league, and it was because they felt like they had to take a chance on these players in case they couldn't. And it was also hurting the players. Some of them should have gone to college, and they ended up not making in the league, and then they lost the potential for a scholarship where they can get a real job. I don't have a good solution for that. It's like these players are too busy thinking they're better than they are, and they want to jump into the NBA right away. It's not so hard. That's way harder than they think it is. I think they should have to petition the NBA to do it. So that'd be subjective. So, all right. So they have this is they have South Carolina first, USC Trojans second. Oh, UConn third. They changed this. They had them fifth before. Wait a minute. I thought they had them fifth before. Notre Dame fourth, UCLA fifth. I swear they had them fifth. I think people gave them a hard time when they put them fifth, and they changed it. Oh yeah, previous ranking fourth. They keep moving them up. And after more recruits. All right. Yes, I was right. They didn't have. This is it. Must be an updated one. Yeah. I don't know. I don't think there is an easy solution. I don't think it's that's an easy solution. They had the option of after they getting cut to go to the starter league. So I don't think that's I don't know how that's any different. I don't know. Maybe they should go back to making them play 3 years in college before they come out, and then the college game would be better. Because the college game's not any. I lost interest in the college game, the men's college game too, because you don't have any teams anymore. They're just like one and done's, all the stars. I don't think it's as simple as you think it is. The solution. So I don't know. I don't think the solution is as simple as you think. That's what I'm saying. We'll see. NBA season's only a few months away, right? Late October, right? Oh, NBA season's only, well, it starts in late October. I think so it's only about 6 weeks away. 5. So NBA season's coming around. Excuse me. Anybody want to donate to the channel? The super chats, the super thanks, be much appreciated. Yeah. Yes, Sabonis. It's a shame that we never saw Sabonis play in his prime in the NBA. Who is my NBA team? Oh, I live in Philadelphia, so I kind of have to root for them. I've lived here for 30 years. I was never obligated to an NBA team because I grew up in Rochester, New York. So I became a Jordan fan. So I rooted for Chicago for a while. But right now I root for the Sixers. At least they're good. At least they don't suck. They sucked for a while because they did that tanking scrap, which drove me crazy. WNBA is bully ball. Yeah, I know. Prison ball. I don't know why they're proud of that. I don't understand it. So we'll see what happens. So, yeah, they they don't seem to want to change either. And the refs, if the refs start calling it tighter, they wouldn't get away with that. And that's on the commissioner, but the commissioner's incompetent. She's been there 5 years and done nothing. So it's Gino's fault. Yeah, he plays that type of ball, right? Slow it down. Caitlin Clark is the GROAT. What's a GROAT? I don't know how Caitlin Clark sleeps at night. I couldn't sleep at night if Sides was my coach. I'm serious. I'd have nightmares on a nightly basis. Yes, I'm watching the game tonight unless I fall asleep because I'm not feeling well, fighting cold. The WNBA's physicality is random. Oh, greatest rookie of all time? I don't know. Candace Parker was pretty good. If they can maybe fly in a coach just for the playoffs, I'd have some confidence for the team. And they could fly in some new refs, then I'd have some confidence for the team. Qt is here, breaking records. She did in 40 games. Yeah, I don't get all caught up in all the records she's breaking. I just get caught up in watching her play and how, and evaluate her that way. Oh yeah, ESPN. You can always watch the Manning brothers instead, and it's still ESPN, but at least you're watching the Manning brothers. Bobby doesn't like Candace Parker. Well, Candace Parker did have the advantage of going to a team with Lisa Leslie. So you couldn't double team her unless Lisa Leslie was on the bench. And Caitlin Clark doesn't have that advantage. So I will say, if you want to make an argument against Candace Parker, that's my strongest argument. I've looked up the stats, and Lisa Leslie was still putting up numbers. W players are old with mortgage. They don't want to run. We'll see. I think Caitlin Clark will go down as the greatest player of all time. I've said that several times. I don't think it's 100% lock, but she's certainly going to be the best guard of all time. I think that's a lock. There's no way you can't convince me she's not going to be better than Diana Taurasi. There's no way. And Diana Taurasi, some people think is the greatest player of all time. So I think she has a really good shot at being the greatest player of all time. We'll see about Juju Watkins. That's my opinion. I said that since I saw her play, about junior year when she really increased her passing, got so much better. Thank you, Michael Love. Appreciate the contribution to the channel. That cat. Yeah, as long as she's not seriously injured. Yeah, it's her ability to make her teammates better really stands out. And I thought she was the best passer I ever saw in women's basketball when she was still a senior. And then her passing's even better now. And I think it improved slightly more than I anticipated. So that tells me she's just going to continue to get better and better. And as soon as your judgment gets better on when not to force it, and get fewer turnovers, and stop getting so lazy on defense and get in a proper defensive stance and improve her defense, she's a lock. But I think she needs to do those two things. And, yeah, we'll see. Yeah, Juju's got a catchy name. I agree. Caitlin Clark's a catchy name. I think she has a good name. CC Caitlin Clark. It's an easy name. She'll break the scoring record in 2 years. Yeah, I'd like to see Caitlin Clark take 20 shots a game. Asia Wilson's shooting like 22 a game. But Asia Wilson got the MVP in the week 1. So Clark had no shot. I'm flabbergasted by that. That's the first time in watching sports in 60 years that someone got the MVP in week 1. There doesn't seem to be open for debate either. I've never seen that. Only in the WNBA do you see something like that. No, not biased at all, Michael. The refs are so fair. The players are so fair. Why do I think Asia should get MVP? You asked me that. I think she does a lot for her team. And I think she's the best player. I don't think they should get the MVP, but I think she does a lot for her team. And she's been very consistent. And I think she draws a lot of attention herself, even though they don't double team her nearly as much as Clark. But she's very efficient too. And she's, as good as any defensive player in the league. Caitlin Clark can be a liability on defense. So I still think she's more valuable than Caitlin Clark at this point, but not by a lot. I know it's close. I'm not saying you can't make the argument for Caitlin Clark. If someone told, I'm a lawyer, I know, it's like someone told me make an argument for Caitlin Clark, I can make an argument for Caitlin Clark. But I think it's irrelevant. Asia Wilson's going to get it anyways. And I think next year, Caitlin Clark will be the most valuable player in the league unless she gets stuck, something drastically goes wrong. Yeah, Michael, we talked about that twice, Tarasi. And it was one of the same refs, as my understanding. In fact, one of the players on Chicago Sky pointed to the staunch and say, hey, give her a technical. Just walked right away. No way. Not going to do that. Only Caitlin Clark gets that. All right. Well, too bad you don't get a vote, Basalif, whatever your name is. I don't know that much about Jackie Stiles. Is that how you pronounce her name? She had career in it. It was only 5'8". Oh, really? Yeah, the Sky coach. Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know if you can challenge a non-call. Do I think she's giving certain plays to her girlfriend? No, I don't know if athletes do that. She wants to win. She's just not mentally strong. I don't think so. They're doing close-ups. Yeah. Well, you've got networks like ION and NBA TV, which are smaller networks, even though you think NBA TV would be a bigger network, and they don't have as many camera angles as they do on like CBS or ABC. So the camera work's not going to be as good. Players, they're probably the best cameramen who make the most money probably work for CBS, NBC, and ABC. So, I mean, I'm disappointed in that I don't see more replays when I see something that should be a foul on Clark and they won't show it. Is there a game on? At 8:15. The Eagles, 8:15. Atlanta, Falcons and Eagles. Two birds going at it. When is this stream from? Who? Yeah, I think they're afraid to show the replays on Clark's fouls. So it's very strange to me, that they won't show it, especially when they have time. So I don't know if it's worth doing a video about tomorrow. No, I'm not doing any videos tomorrow. So I'll have to video on Wednesday. I guess we could do a video on that. Joseph, I usually see. What is this? This is our live show. We do it every Monday from 6 to 8. Joseph, what do you? I must have. I must mention it on every video. Well, the game won't start for another 15 minutes, but anyway. Connecticut Suns match up with Fever. No, we didn't really. But it looks like they're going to play the Connecticut Suns. We could do that. Gosh, when does the playoffs start? Let me see. Yeah, it's a football game, but I can't do a live. My voice is going as it is. I'm fighting a cold. Let's see when the WNBA playoffs start. What date? Start of WNBA. September 22nd. So it looks like they start 22nd, which is Sunday. Really? Wow. They start right away. Okay. So they start Sunday. I wonder if everybody's playing on Sunday. There's only 4 matchups. I wonder if they're going to do 2 on Sunday and 2 on Monday. Yeah, the haters are quiet. Oh, but they're still making excuses for Caitlin Clark. Like I said, they said Kelsey Mitchell's the best player on the team. They're all saying all sorts of things about Caitlin Clark. They can say whatever they want. I don't care what haters' opinions is. I don't listen to non-objective people when I think and talk about sports and discuss sports. As soon as I find out someone's not objective, I completely tune them out. I think that's the biggest problem with sports people. They don't know how to be objective. You saw my video today on Cheryl Swoops. I actually defended some of her pro career, where Cynthia Cooper got all the credit. And I hate her, but I was trying just being objective. Yeah, what was the comment that she made yesterday? They didn't need saving. They needed, what was the word she used last night? It began with, they needed destruction. Is that what they said? Did you guys remember what the announcer said last night? They said they didn't need a savior. They needed, I think it would be with destruction. They're crazy. I'll have to look it up. It was in the thread. No, that was Cynthia Brunson said promotion. She said something else. It was a weird word, like you would never think that's the word you would think of. They needed destruction or I don't know what she said. God, it's in our thread because someone said he couldn't stop listening after that. I'll have to look up my thread. She's just reading the script. Yeah. Anyway, if anybody else want to donate to the channel, you can. I'm going to end this live stream in a couple minutes. It's 8:00 now, and I'm going to watch the basketball game. Get stuff ready for that. I mean, the football game. Yeah, Debbie Antonelli. Yeah, I'll have to look it up because it was in our live stream, and someone said I haven't paid attention. It was, I think the word began with D. It was a word that you would never think to say what the problem was with the league. So it was very weird. Very weird. They didn't need just promotion. They need a better product. And they don't realize that their product is deficient. And it's too physical, and they miss too many layups and too boring. But they don't anyway. Thanks, Joseph. I'm going to try to not for this to turn into a full-blown cold because my birthday is Wednesday. So Yeah, of course it needed saving. They've lost. How can a league that lost $10 million a year for 27 straight years not need saving? Disruption is that. That's what she said, right? Disruption. What did she? I don't even know what she meant by that. What's disrupt? What? I can't. It's like totally illogical. Is that what she said? A disruption in an economic marketplace. What does she mean by disruption? I don't even understand her thought. That's like bizarre. Disruption. I don't, that's what she said. That was her exact words. Was that her exact words? Bayless 241. Is that what she really said after that? Because first she said destruction, and then I think she said something after that. I didn't take her seriously. It's okay. The gal just got here. I'm ending this. I'm ending this live stream, but the gal just got here. Yeah, I think Clark's shooting percentage will go up next year. So I'm not concerned. I think her turnovers will go down, her defense will improve, and her shot percentage will go up next year. And I think she'll score more points too. Imagine with the real coach. All right, everyone. Good night. I'm gonna go watch the Eagles game. So we'll see you Thursday. All right. So Thursday, join us for Thursday, and then the playoff game will be. I guess they're going to have a playoff game either Sunday or Monday. I don't know if they're going to start all 4 games on Sunday. So, all right. Thank you, Joseph. All right. Take care, everybody.